Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A, where we go over all the latest news that happened during the week of mobile and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comments section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Now let's get started with the news today, and this one is kind of an interesting one, and it's the title of it because it really brings what I do think that Apple is going to move towards. So, Apple for the longest time has been all about, we don't use ads to make our money. We don't use ads to make our revenue. We are not Google or Facebook, basically, that need to invade your privacy or invade anything, about you. But with their new Apple glasses and the new patent on it, it is actually going to give them the ability to determine how and where you are looking when you're using the glasses. So this is kind of an interesting patent. So basically, we've seen stuff like this before, but not this detailed and possibly as accurate. They're basically going to be able to tell how your eyes are looking, and basically be able to tell, you really like this, or you really are engaged in that, or you are retaining that. Now, what would that be used for? If not, we can actually tell you how engaged your people are in this app. Or possibly eventually in this ad. And this is a really curious thing because, again, this is on Apple's own stuff. And yes, they may never use this, but then why create the ability to have it on there? Why create the ability to track your eye movement, to track your eye responsiveness, to track everything of that nature? Is kind of, why take that information? It's the same reason why I think, of course, that Google had such a hard time justifying the camera on their AR glasses. Their AR glasses had a camera, and again, they were like, we're collecting the data to see, what you're looking at, and we can point stuff out to you, like, hey, this restaurant has this rating on Yelp, and that kind of, so it's that was the idea that Google gave from it. But I really, we haven't heard Apple's pitch for this yet, but why would they want to know how engaged you are at something, how much retention you're having at it, and where your eyes are looking? It's a very interesting thing. And could you turn this feature off? Absolutely, I'm sure you'll be able to. But again, it's why having it. I really, in the terms and conditions right now on Apple, are they really making sure that everyone knows that has a LiDAR camera that we are collecting this information for our Apple glasses? Because they are. So are they really being as forthcoming as they're accusing Facebook of? And I'm not trying to defend Facebook at all, please. But it's kind of like, Apple, especially on their recent one with Tim Cook talking about privacy, really more of a holier than thou kind of approach to it. And I was just like, dude, are you really trying to say, I get it that you're not in the same business of ads right now, but you're collecting data too on people, and you don't make extra exceptions for yourself, right? Are you, having a pop-up when the camera app is launched on the pros and telling people, hey, your LiDAR information is being used to create better Apple glasses? Because if you're not, then it's kind of hypocritical. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I was just really, when I saw this one, I'm just again, it's the purpose of collecting data, I really do feel, is only to make better experiences, right? Better targeted ads. I rather get ads on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, about technology than, rock climbing. And that's what targeted ads do. I don't like the idea of, the paranoia that I feel like we've all had a little bit since, like, I was just talking to my friend about this one thing and then suddenly I got an ad about it. Because then it's like, okay, are the phone microphones still work on and hearing us? Are the Google Homes and Amazon Alexas on hearing us? All these things that is very like, So it's very much so like, yes, collecting data is sometimes okay, sometimes not. We want to draw that line. We definitely want to be able to say that line, but it's just things like this, and I'm like, definitely don't claim to be, the person that's not collecting data when you are in just other ways and for other purposes. Yes, you're never going to do ads, possibly, but this kind of technology is definitely collecting data. All right, then we have insiders refuting and talking about, which I did a couple weeks ago as well, when those rumors started, like, oh man, the Fold 3 is coming, as soon as April or May. And I was like, no, it's not. It could come in July, but that's the earliest. In April or May, we're going to get the Z Flip 3. And what are we getting? It pretty much is dead on. May is going to start the shipments for the Z Flip 3. That is the next phone in Samsung's Unpacked event. So they are going to have 3 in packs, just like they did last year. So May will be the Z Flip 3, and then July, 1 month ahead of schedule compared to previous years. Previous years it's been August, will be the Z Fold 3. So the Z Fold will be coming out in July, and the Z Flip will be coming out in May. Now, whether we get a Z Fold Lite, as it's being nicknamed, well, we'll have to wait and see. It's very curious to see if that will happen, but that is one thing that could happen definitely in the near future. I hope we do, because I want to see what a budget price is for foldables. I would love to see one at 1,000, maybe even 1,200. But then again, the Z Flip I think was 1,350. So it's not too far off to think of 1,200, maybe for a fold design instead. But let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you curious about getting any of the foldables? I don't know. I have to say, I enjoyed my time with the Galaxy Fold 2, but I just really love having so much of a better camera. And unless the Fold 3 has a better camera, I don't think it's going to entice me as much if there is a new Note. If there's a Note 21 Ultra, I think that might stay my daily driver, and the Fold 3 might get returned at this point. That's my thought process right now. Who knows what it'll be in a month or a week. Apple has made some big news this week with their AR glasses. Yes, they are working on AR/VR headset. So really what we're hearing is that they will have a $3,000 VR headset coming next year with 8K displays, eye tracking so much. But there's some really interesting rumors with this. So some are talking about that it's going to be for enterprise, which Apple doesn't really do anything for enterprise. So that's kind of weird. And, maybe it'll be like a developer kit, maybe. And then in 2023, they'll have the consumer version. But I don't know. It's a very weird thing for them making it for enterprise. I could see them, trying to get developers on board first, and maybe they are going to have apps by next year for this, because that's, again, you're talking about next September. So that's a lot of time to develop apps before then. But it's really just interesting, Apple getting into VR technology. Now, the rumor is now that, it might have a splash of AR in there as well, but it's still mainly considered a VR technology. And it's really curious because obviously, I think Facebook has come ahead with the Oculus, really a lot, going at a $300 price point, or $250. I think is even the starting price for the cheapest one now. Or no, that was Oculus Go. I think the Quest is $300 at the cheapest value. So I think they have found a very happy kind of like price point and quality threshold. And the ability to connect it to your computer as well if needed to get higher quality is, again, another kind of really cool feature. So yeah, I am like, I almost got the Quest last time around. I think I'm gonna try to get back into VR this year. We'll see what they come up with. But if I see something interesting in VR, there's a lot of them that I really wanted to catch up on, from the Star Wars one to the Half-Life one. There are some really good VR experiences that I do feel that I have missed out on for sure. This was a really interesting one. Apple looks like they haven't sold very many of the iPhone 12 mini. Now, this could be because of the 5G. If you did check out my tips and tricks video on the S21, I really don't have that good of a 5G speed in my home. And at work, it's in the coast of California, so I don't have any signal there for 5G. It's all LTE. So I switched to LTE for 2 days. I haven't gone back. I'm like, okay, I'm very happy with this, and I'm getting about an hour and a half more battery life than I was previously. So I don't know, for me, at least in my area, I'm gonna leave 5G off, and this is one of the reasons why the people are saying that the Mini didn't do that well, because it has 5G and it has the smallest battery. It's not really lasting that long, and people aren't as happy with it in terms of battery life. Now, I will say this at the same time. I think you're not hearing that from Apple tech reviewers or tech reviewers that review and favor Apple products, because in their mind, they're always by a charger. They always have, a car charger, home charger, all these different chargers to charge it up quick, and they have the fast chargers as well. So I don't think you're going to hear that much about from them, because they're not living the, average consumer lifestyle. So I think that's why you're not hearing it as much, but definitely from the people that I have known that have had them, they are complaining about battery life as well. So yeah, maybe I think what you're going to see next year, or this year rather, is if they do release another Mini, you might get one with a LTE variant instead. So, it'll be the iPhone 13 Mini, but not a 5G version. It'll just be an LTE version. I think that will be better overall. Let me know what you guys think. And again, how important is, just to kind of gauge everyone's opinion right now, how important is 5G to you right now? In this phone, if you were going to buy a phone this year, how important is 5G to you? I'd love to know. And then we have the OnePlus 9 Pro prototype, and it is a Hasselblad camera, and this is a camera company that definitely has done some really good things. I will say this, though, they did do an adapter camera for Moto a few years back that wasn't that well received. So we'll have to wait to see how it goes. But I know David Lee did a video on it. I did not check it out, but I'm really kind of curious to see how it all goes with this. And again, I'm just very curious if OnePlus fixes the camera. I think this is going to be a secondary phone that I might check out. Right now, I am rocking the S21 Ultra and the Pixel 5 as my secondary phone, but I definitely think that the OnePlus 9 Pro is one that I could get into definitely in the near future. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But I'm very curious about this camera. Very curious. Because that is the one thing I will say that I've never liked about OnePlus. I've never liked their camera quality. Alright guys, now go ahead and start asking your questions in the comments section down below. Again, anything you want to ask, just let me know and we will get to it in the comment section. You think they don't collect data off of iMessenger? iMessage is encrypted, but I definitely think they still can take, information like what times of day are you messaging, things like that, and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I think they collect data without collecting your chats, I believe. I gave my Note 20 Ultra up for the S21 Ultra 286. I hope I like it. I hope you do too, man. I'm very curious to see how it goes with it. It's interesting. I think it's a good transition. I will say this: the pen on this one, it feels more. I never had one, but it feels like a PDA. Like I feel like when I'm going like this, I feel like it's more like a PDA. I don't know if it's just how thin the stylus is or what is it, but yeah, it feels more like a PDA. I feel like than previous models. I would say. Um, why am I still waiting on my Galaxy 21 Ultra from Samsung? Yeah, man, they are backed up, and the truth is I don't think we notice it till it's a specific product on how much, you know, and we forget again that this is a global pandemic, right? And how much a lot of these places are short. Like a lot of these places have shortages. And it's not till you I think you buy something specific and you're like, why is everything in this category sold out? Like one thing I found out recently, most e-bikes have a shortage till the summer. So it's things like that. Like it's very interesting to see what is going on in terms of like certain things like processors are very short, graphics cards are very short. Just all these things are have a big shortage right now. So it's very curious to see if it's more of a demand issue, like there's so much more demand than they thought, or if it really is more of a supply issue and that they just can't supply enough. It really is something that I feel again, you notice more when you're looking for something specific. I forgot something I was looking for up for Amazon the other day, and it was everything was like 3 weeks out to ship, and I'm like, why is it taking so long? I'm just not used to that, of course. And then it's just like, well, I guess certain things do have shortages right now, and it's an annoyance, but it's more so when you kind of start thinking about like, oh, I guess yeah. Why can't they put a good camera in the Fold? A bit more money? Um, I think it's more of a design thing. To put a bigger camera in the Fold would make the overall phone thicker. Would people mind that much of a thicker phone? I think it's debatable. Don't get me wrong, the Fold is a thick phone already because it's essentially two phones put together, right? You stack two phones on top of each other. That's how thick the Fold kind of is. But again, if you make it 10% thicker to get a better camera, you get a bigger battery then. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if you make it a little bit thicker in order, again, to put a better camera in there. What do you think about the Anker Soundcore Liberty 2 Air? Not talking about the ones you unboxed, by the way. The Liberty 2 Air, or the Liberty Air 2, I never reviewed. I've only reviewed the Pros and then the Liberty Air 2 Pros. So I never reviewed the original Liberty Airs. I think a lot of people liked them. I will say, again, my wife has enjoyed her Pros, but I never checked out. I liked the original Pros. I gave them as a gift to my best friend, and he seemed to like them, and he seemed to use them on his walks and stuff like that, his new job. And then I gave the other ones to my wife, and she's really liked them. And like I said, she liked them better than the Galaxy Buds. So yeah, it was definitely a difference. PlayStation VR. Here's the thing. As far as I know, PlayStation VR is like, yeah, supported, but not supported with the PS5. So I'm really curious. I'm really waiting to see if PlayStation does make a PSVR 2. And then, it would be supported with the PS5, maybe better graphics, maybe better everything. But that's what I'm kind of waiting on. So I'm not jumping on the PlayStation VR until it's better supported with the PS5. There's a Galaxy S6, 256, 430. Galaxy. Oh, wait. Do you mean the Galaxy S6 tablet or Galaxy S6 as in like the old smartphone? I'm guessing because I don't. The S6 smartphone wouldn't be worth that much, so I'm guessing you mean the tablet. That's good. I think. I mean, I think that's around the price that I got for my wife's 128 gig. So yeah, I mean to get a 256 gig at that price is a really good deal. I think. So yeah, again, it served all of her purposes. And I think again, I would pick the Tab S6 over the Tab S7 for the most part, in my opinion. I think the Fold scratches a lot. Maybe one day they'll have a nice glass. I think you're going to see a better glass on this year's Flip and Fold. You know, every year they're probably going to improve that glass for sure. 5G is still unreliable. I think they could have waited another year, definitely. 5G isn't at all important to me. Using the Samsung Music app, I downloaded my music from the S20 Ultra onto the S21 Ultra. It would not read an audio file. Why? I am not sure of that. Where did you download the music from? It could be a God, I forgot that file type. There's a file type that basically prevents you from transferring music over. And if you try to play music on another device, it will stop you from playing. I forgot what file type that is, but it's a security feature. And depending on where you get your music from, that could be still something there. Good evening, Ricky. How's your experience so far with the S21 Ultra? Do you think the OnePlus 8 Pro is still good comparable? I never did use the OnePlus 8 Pro. The 7T Pro McLaren edition was the last OnePlus I used. So I did not use any OnePlus last year. My big thing with the OnePluses though was always that I did not like the camera. I heard the Pro was the best camera of last year. But again, for me, I need the best camera, and the S21 Ultra I think has it hands down. That huge megapixel size gives you such a natural, great looking bokeh effect that I really do love it. But is the OnePlus 8 Pro a good phone for 2021? Absolutely. OnePlus definitely keeps up in terms of speed and everything like that. I hope they're doing better on their security updates. They weren't as good on the OnePlus 7, but I did hear they did do better on the OnePlus 8 with that. So yeah, but OnePluses are always consistently fast phones, and I really do appreciate them for that. Thoughts on Jeff Bezos stepping down? It's interesting, right? Because you always have to think of what is their next move. I mean, I think about that with John Legere stepping down from Movable, Bob Iger stepping down from Disney, and now Jeff Bezos stepping down from Amazon. So it's really it's an interesting thing, because these are the people that made these companies great. Like, you know, Bob Iger was responsible for Marvel, for Star Wars coming to Disney, and for Disney Plus. I mean, just insane, right? John Legere took a failing T-Mobile and brought it to be the second best carrier now in terms of overall subscribers. And it really is interesting when it comes to that. And I think by far the one that's added the most subscribers year over year for the past like 4 years. Amazon. Jeff Bezos was literally there from the beginning. So everything Amazon has become has been because of him in a lot of ways. So yeah, I mean, it really is interesting. It's really, what are they going to do next? What will we see? And I think that's going to be the biggest thing when it comes to it. So we'll have to wait and see. What's next is always, I think, the most interesting aspect when it comes to that. Let's see. The Fold 3, gotta have a best camera. It will be disrespectful not to have it. I mean, you could say that, but the Fold 2, I will tell you, was a major step down from the Note 20 Ultra. The Note 20 Ultra had so much of a better camera. So yeah. Is 5G that big of a battery drain compared to LTE? Yeah, definitely. 5G antennas drain your battery way more than LTE does. So yeah, there definitely is a good thought process in going to LTE instead of 5G. But again, it depends on your area. I mean, literally, if I lived a mile south of here, the 5G in that area is amazing. So it's just based on your area. But literally, when I drive, I used to drive to my T-Mobile store, which again is about a mile south. I mean, really, even about 6 blocks from here is my closest supermarket, and that one I already get triple the speeds that I do of 5G here. So yeah, it just depends on where you are and where you go. But I mean, a mile down south, I would use 5G over my home internet. Like, that's how good it is over there. But again, it just depends on that. It depends how good it is in your area. Let's see. Anything you do online is broadcasted to the whole world no matter what you do. The only hackers other ones say are they can prevent this. The only hackers other ones of say I think I get what you mean though, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've always said that to anyone, right? Like when people are like, I want to make sure this is absolutely secure. This is an absolutely secure way. I'm like, it's as secure as it's gonna be. Like, I mean, but if a hacker has it in for you, if a hacker is specifically targeting you, there's almost nothing you're going to be able to do. Like, because are you going to carry an encryption key to log into everything and to verify you at every step of the way? No. Are you going to have one of those things, plug it into your phone every time you want to log into it? Every time you want, like, there are ways to secure yourself to the extreme, but we don't do that because we want convenience too. So it's a whole trade-off there always. But yeah, why did Sony sell the PS5 at a loss? Because they want to win the console wars. I guarantee you, it hasn't come out yet, but Xbox is easily selling at a loss too. The whole idea is that if you get more consoles sold, you're going to sell more games. And the profit is in the games, not in the consoles. So you can lose, say if they sell 5 million PlayStations, right? Out of 5 million PlayStations, say they lose $20. So that is what now? 100 100 million, right? That they have lost. Sounds like a lot. Games can make billions of dollars. And that's each game, right? So don't forget that Sony owns some of their most profitable studios. So you're talking about, they take a cut of every game that comes out, which I believe is still 30% if I'm not mistaken for all large titles. So if they're taking 30% of a game like God of War that will sell like crazy because it's an exclusive, they're going to make their money back. If they're going to take money from Spider-Man from Insomniac that they now own, if Last of Us, all these different ones, they're exclusive titles, all of these they take money from it. But not only that, you have to remember another thing is that you're also going to be able to have a issue with you're also going to be able to have an issue when it comes to let me put this, your subscriber base, right? So Sony has PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus, pretty much everyone that owns a PlayStation will end up getting PlayStation Plus because it's such a good and simple deal. If you want to play old school games, you're going to have PlayStation Now. So that's going to be where you're going. So all of these different ones are going to be what you're going to have. So that's why. Let's see. I pre-ordered the S21 Ultra. Won't get mine until February 23rd. Yeah, a lot of people are having it delayed right now. And no matter what version, too, the unlocked version is even further out. I think that's like March now. So, yeah, it's all this different stuff. Hey, Ricky, what's your take on WhatsApp and privacy and sharing with Facebook? Would you use it or switch to something else? Thanks. So here's the funny thing. I've never used WhatsApp. I used WhatsApp for like a month at one of my jobs that was communicating with the UK, and that was about it. Like I never used it after that. So never really been into WhatsApp. Just never used it. But here's the thing. So in terms of the privacy, as of right now, they are still not doing anything with privacy in terms of your messages. So they have made that abundantly clear after the huge backlash and paranoia and everyone moving to Signal and all that kind of stuff. And by the way, that's the one I would switch to if I was a person that relied on WhatsApp and wanted to go to something else. Signal is what I would probably go to in that situation because its main thing is privacy, whereas Telegram has already kind of sold stuff to people, information. So yeah, don't trust that one as an alternative. But yeah, so that's the main thing with WhatsApp and Facebook. Again, I don't care what's the information to a certain extent. I guess I just the information that Facebook has about me, I'm not too like I'm not too worried in a sense. But do I trust them? Do I like them as a company? No, not really. But yeah, that's my thoughts on them. Using VLC music on my S21 Ultra. Do you know about this app? I've used VLC for my computer, but never for. I didn't know they had a music specific version. But yeah, is it just like if you go to YouTube Music and play your built-in library, will that play it? Like, is there certain apps that will play and certain apps that won't? That's very curious. But yeah, curious to hear that. Yeah, the Tab S6 for Amazon for 430. That's good for sure. I see we had some issues going on in the chat. Sorry about that. Yes, please stay polite and again, no politics or any of that kind of stuff on there, and no conspiracy theories for sure. They just doubled 5G speeds at my home. That's really cool. They were supposed to put a new 5G tower from T-Mobile in my area in December, but I guess it got pushed back. Like I'm still like, checking here and there to see if it's gone up, but I am literally getting like less than 5 megabits down on 5G. So yeah, not worth it for me for sure. Can someone hack your mobile phone if you change your email and number? My friend claims his ex is hacking his phone and spying on his phone. Most people that are saying that are always wrong. I'll tell you that. I used to work in retail, and oh my God, were people just paranoid. They would get spyware and adware, and then they would just freak out like, oh, this is my ex, or no, this is my crazy ex that's stalking me and all this kind of stuff. Most of the time, they're just paranoid. That it's adware, spyware. Scan your phone and check it. But in terms of can they hack your phone? Yes, but to what extent is a whole nother scenario. Because yes, they can possibly see information depending on the phone. If it's like an iPhone, they can see your iMessage information if they log into your account, right? But I mean, that's when you just have to make sure with your phone number and everything, you're putting two-factor authentication, whether it be Google, whether it be Samsung, whether it be Apple. You want to make sure to put two-factor authentication in as much as possible because that will help. Ricky, is it true that Google Stadia is in trouble? Apparently, the head of Google Stadia left. So Google Stadia is in trouble, very possibly, but basically, the main thing is they got rid of and unfortunately let go of their in-house gaming developers. So basically, Stadia was supposed to be like, okay, as a platform where we're going to host other games, but we're also going to create our own. They've gotten rid of, they're going to create their own part. So now they're not going to create their own. They're just going to host other games, kind of like Xbox in that sense, or Amazon or things like that. But yeah, so I don't know if Stadia is going to die. It very well could. I mean, Google is notorious. I think that's why people are assuming Stadia is going to die, is because Google has killed so many platforms. It's just like, they always end up just done with. So I think that's why, but overall that's the thought process behind it. We are just keeping a close net of things. I hope the Galaxy Fold 3 comes with water resistance. I doubt it. I think it's too early. I think you might see that in the 4th or 5th one, but I think it's just too early for it in that sense. VLC app solved my S21 music download problems. Got it. Okay, so it could have just been yeah. VLC is definitely a big one when it comes to having more compatibility for sure. I mean, I use it when there's a format that was probably created on a Mac that I play on my PC. It won't play properly. If I use VLC player, it'll play perfectly. So yeah, it has the most codecs and just every version you can think of playing, it will be able to play it most likely. What are your thoughts on the Super Bowl and Tom? I didn't see all of it, to be honest. I saw pretty much the second quarter and third quarter, and then I had to do other things, and I have stuff going on. Yeah, so just outside of stuff right now. So I didn't get to catch the whole thing, but yeah, I saw it was a blowout, and I was just like, I had told people that they were going to win, because I was just like, Brady is not just going to go there and then just to go, like, and now you have to, you may not like him. I don't really care for it. Look, I'm a 49ers fan, so I don't really care about Tom Brady in that sense. But, I got to respect it. I mean, the guy had just had so many Super Bowls, and now he just was like, I'm going to go to a new team and win another ring. And he did. So it's just like, dang, that's crazy. Love the show as always. Thank you so much, Paul. Not a Brady fan, but you have to give him respect. You do. You really do. I love, if you haven't, by the way, check out the T-Mobile commercial with Tom Brady. I thought that was hilarious. And again, really showed his comedic side, so I thought that was pretty funny. You know what keeps you okay from hacking? Not held accountable for actual hacking. Thank you for that, Quiet Storm. 51st date questions. No hackers can resist the awesomeness of the app. They will leave you alone. Thank you for reminding me of the shameless plug every week. And yes, 51st date questions is an app that I created. And it's great just for a fun time if you just want to ask questions and with your significant other, or on a blind date or a first date. It's a great way to get to know each other, or a great way to rediscover what's important to that person. 51st Date Questions. Check the links in the description down below for Android and iOS. My friend should definitely use 51st Date Questions, but now it's too late. Ricky, is there chances that Google will kill YouTube, or is YouTube too big to fail? Oh, YouTube is way too big to fail. Not to mention, YouTube is one of the biggest money generators for Google. No, they'll never kill YouTube. It's just too much of a money generator. Especially like as I've gotten into, I'm getting certified for Google Ads right now. And as I've been doing that, I've really been discovering just how much when it comes to that stuff. So like, it's really an interesting process of like, wow, like it's so crazy how much money you that businesses spend on Google Ads, and video ads are one of the best ones. So those are all the ads that are in front of YouTube videos. So yeah, it's just no, they would never get rid of it. Trust me, so much money in it. Um, do you think Windows is less innovative compared to Mac? Yes, and not major releases of the UI are really is awful. I think Windows has been stepping up over the past 2 years, really 1 year, definitely. But yeah, Google really stepped it up, I think, and Apple has really stepped it up over the past year to 2 years as well. But Google really kind of gave them a run for their money because they are continuously updating. I mean, if you look at Chrome OS, it's like on what version 98 or something like that. Like it's just like, oh, new version, new version, new version. They continuously update. You are going to get at least 10 versions of a Chrome OS update in a year. So it's always updating. And that's one thing that I think that kind of got the ball rolling, I would say for sure. My favorite commercial was the Shaggy Mila. Yeah, I thought that one was funny. I saw that one beforehand. It wasn't me. You know. Let's see. Yeah, let's just not troll and let's just keep it all normal, okay, guys? Um, Windows is good when it comes to gaming. All other things, just plain Windows. Definitely. I mean, Windows, is definitely the gaming king when it comes to the three platforms, right? When you get a Mac, Windows, and Chrome, obviously that's going to be their top one. But yeah, it's really an interesting thing when it comes to it in terms of each one has a really good set of features. Windows is still by far the most. I don't know if Windows will ever lose its dominance. Maybe if it stands still long enough. But you're still talking about Windows is over 80% of all computers around the world. Apple is so small. They're very strong in the US, but ain't nobody using the Mac outside of the US, really. Parts of Europe here and there, but not people aren't using Macs here everywhere. Um, and then Chromes have been the ones that have gotten really good and taken all the small market away from Windows. So Chromebooks have really done well with that for sure. That Samsung car needs to come to America. Well, again, when we talked about it, I caught up, and yeah, Samsung Motors did sell their business to what was it, Nissan, I think. So yeah, so they're out of the car making business, but it's kind of interesting, right? Because their buddies over there at Hyundai just made a deal under the Kia brand with Apple, so that's kind of interesting. We'll see how it goes. Maybe Samsung will get back into it. And to be clear, Samsung, if they would get into this, they already have a head start on Apple. They make new car interfaces every single year. No one's using it per se, but they make these concept car designs for internal decks that they are trying to sell to companies like Mercedes, like BMW, like all these different high-end companies for their future sets. So it really is just a very interesting concept with it. So I definitely think that it definitely could be some interesting stuff. Samsung Fold car will be a convertible. No. The Galaxy Flip. It'll just flip back. It'll flip back. A Samsung car would be awesome. Yeah. No, it really is something that, I mean, I think if Samsung ends up getting back into that, if Apple does well in it, you could bet Samsung would get into it as well again. And again, Samsung Motors was around for a long time, so definitely could happen for sure. Ricky, you are biased when it comes to Samsung. Sure. If by biased you mean I like the products that I like, and I really haven't seen them like mess up except when I call them out for it. Like I have over 5,000 views of me talking shit about Samsung. But am I biased? Don't know. I like what I like. Definitely. I'll call them out for it when I need to, and I will call any company out when I need to. So you can call me biased. I don't care. For me, it's all about I like what I like. So yeah, there you go. A literal compact car. A compact car that folds out into an SUV. There you go. All right, guys. If we don't have any questions, I will kind of end early tonight. I got some stuff that I got to deal with family-wise. And yeah. Ricky, would you consider reviewing a Xiaomi flagship? Have you tried the Mi 10 or any of the above? Probably not. I don't like Xiaomi's interface, to be quite honest. I'm really not a fan of it. So yeah, that's the main thing. I don't like Xiaomi's interface, and I really do cater towards the U.S. market. You could say, not that I only care about the U.S. market, but if it's not going to be something where I have to review what I will like, or what I like, and more importantly, that I feel passionate about, and that obviously will also get views. Sometimes I'll do a video just for me. Like I really am. I love this product. Jabra is never going to get me the most views, but man, are they good quality. Like I will back them forever because of their quality. Sound quality is awesome on every single thing they make, and I really like that. However, will I, make a lot of views off of that? No, but again, that's going to be my thing. Is like what's available to me, what's available. I mean, obviously, most of my demographics, I think I'm something like 65% viewership for me comes from the U.S. So of course, I have to cater towards the base for that. So yeah. But again, I will always, like, if there's something I'm passionate about, something I really like the quality of, but I can't get over that Xiaomi UI. I really don't like it. I just really don't. And yes, you could put a skin on it and all that kind of stuff, but it is what it is when it comes to that. Question, why do you have to close and reopen YouTube on the Z Fold 2 5G more than once to get YouTube to 1440p? I only had that issue once, but I had a lot of people have that issue. I don't know if it was just a glitch with them, but yeah, I definitely did notice that a lot of people had that. I never really noticed it because what I do with my YouTube is I save it offline. When you save YouTube videos offline, the highest quality you can go is 1080p. So basically, I always watch videos in 1080p on YouTube. I never watch it in higher quality on my phone because, again, I always download them when I'm at home or at work, and then when I'm on the go, I already have them on my phone. I don't stream that much unless it's something live or something like that I'm checking out. But yeah, so I never really noticed as much, but I definitely did have people call that out. I didn't have that happen every time, but I did look at it more and more when I was still using the Fold. And it didn't happen to me as much, but again, it definitely was something that a lot of people did complain about. So I think that's definitely a glitch with it. What's your opinion on the Xiaomi Mi Air charger? How much will it cost? Is that the one that's like the you can drop the phone down wherever it is? Because that one was really cool. I almost bought that one. If that's the one you're talking about, let me see. Um, oh no, this is the actual like air charging. Like it's actually through the air and receiving it. Um, I mean, the technology I think is better, honestly, as a light. So we've seen this kind of technology in different things. I like the idea of it coming from up top down better because I think you're gonna get less interference that way. But it's really interesting. I mean, again, it's something that we have seen in different industries, but Xiaomi again is the first one to bring it to market, and this is one of the things about brands like Xiaomi, Vivo, all these different companies. They are bringing it to market first before anyone else. So that's the really cool things about it for sure. How much will it cost though? Not sure on that. We'll have to wait and see. 5 watt, so it's very slow in comparison to anything else. But it's cool. It's just charging your phone, right? That's just so cool. You like if I was in the living room, right? I would put it in under the TV so that it would charge like while I'm on the couch, and it would just be charging it. But yeah, that's why I would do it for sure. Um, Ricky, is it worth switching from Netflix to Disney Plus? It really depends on you. I mean, I love Disney Plus content. I don't watch Netflix. I literally the last thing on Netflix I did watch was Cobra Kai, but I saw that when it was on YouTube. So um, that was the last thing I watched. But I just I besides Cobra Kai, I have not watched Netflix in a year. Like I just I don't my family uses it, so that's the only reason I've kept it. We're down to the lowest tier of Netflix now though, which is the what 899 one. And if it were up to me, I would probably get rid of it. But family likes it, so it's like literally three other people that want it, and I'm the one paying for it. But I have said, all right, fine, like for now. But like I'm about to up my thing for Peacock because I am a wrestling fan, so I like WWE. And WWE Network is going away. I was paying $10 a month for that, and that is now going to Peacock. So basically, I'm just going to be paying $10 a month for Peacock now instead. So yeah, for streaming right now. The ones the more I care about is Disney Plus because Disney Plus for me, as soon as WandaVision ends, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Falcon is coming out. As soon as that one ends, another one's coming out. Like they are lining it up, so it's so good. This year, I would definitely say HBO Max is really good because they're having a big movie come out every month this year. Amazon, I just always have, so I'll always have them. So I'm definitely going to watch Coming to America 2 when it comes out next month. And then, what's the other one? Peacock, probably again just because of WWE, I'll keep it now. I got a deal where it was like $25 for the full year. That's the only reason I got Peacock to begin with, and I was gonna watch the new Saved by the Bell show. Me and my daughter are going to the old episodes first, so that way when I watch the new Saved by the Bell show, I'll watch it with her for the first time. And then yeah, so that's everything in terms of Netflix. There's nothing that I care about, to be honest. So yeah, that's just me. Um, Charging your phone and cooking your popcorn. Yeah, yeah, you have to wonder about that for sure. Um, Top three things you like and dislike about S21 UI. The biggest thing I don't like about it right now is I still don't have Good Lock Task Changer. That is, I hate the recent apps button on Android. I hate it. Like it's so crap. Like it's the iOS version, right? It's that stupid, big. Oh, hey, look at this big ass nonsense right here. I hate that. And on all other Samsung phones, You can change it with Good Lock. They have not updated it to One UI 3.0 yet, that app, and it's just driving me crazy. Like, I need that. So that's the biggest dislike for sure. Biggest like, I like the new interface. Nothing too much about it really. It's just like an update. Like, I like the video call feature. That's probably one of the things I like most about it. I do love the 4K camera out of all cameras now. That is definitely probably my favorite thing. And the director's view, I wish it shot in I wish it saw at 60 frames per second though. I'm still hoping that comes with an update. But yeah, those are some of my likes and dislikes. I just got the Note 10 Plus unlock. When should I expect Android 11 One UI 3.0? I mean this year, but when? It could be a couple months. It could be possibly by March, but it could be later down the line. It's hard to say with their updating. They're better and better at it, but it's still I I haven't turned on my Fold 3, but my Fold 2, but it didn't have it when I switched to the S21, so I'm not sure if it has it now. I know they were about to get it at that point. It's worth switching from the Galaxy S20 to the S21 Ultra. I have my Note 20 Ultra and Z Fold 2 handy to use my S20 Ultra. Are you saying it is worth switching in your opinion? I definitely think it is for the camera, especially for the focus issues that the S20 Ultra had. I definitely did not like that for sure. Does ad blocker hurt YouTube ad revenue? Do you think YouTube can do anything about it? It does hurt ad revenue because again, it's basically just not having it there. But I mean, I have ad blockers, so I don't I'm not saying like, oh, don't use ad blocker for YouTube because it hurts me. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's your preference. If you don't want to see ads, you don't want to see ads. I'm all for that the same way. I hate ads on websites. That's my biggest thing. That's why I have an ad blocker. But yes, that's I guess my biggest pet peeve is ads on websites just drive me crazy, especially pop-up ads and autoplay videos. Autoplay videos I think really should be banned. They're just the worst things ever, and I really can't stand autoplay videos. It just really annoys me. Let's see. I cut the cord, not missing anything. Got my soccer on streams. There you go. But yeah. Alright, guys. But yeah, that will be the show for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for spending some time with me this week. Make sure to give a like, thumbs up before you head out. And we will have some more videos this week. And just hope I don't... Just got some stuff outside of stuff with my family and hope everything turns out okay. Alright guys, thank you guys always so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me.